Another potential veteran added to this clubhouse, and we'll see if he ultimately makes the team out of spring training. But old friend, and by friend at times nemesis, Craig Kimbrel signed to a minor league deal. Craig Kimbrel now in late May, he will turn 38 years old. Obviously, a long storied career, well traveled by now at the end of his career. Just last year, Joe, Kimbrel spent a lot of time in the minor leagues. He started out the year in the returning to the Braves organization. He pitched 20 or 18 innings in the Braves minors. He came up, of course, for that one game and pitched and got DFA'd the next day. Then he was in the Rangers system where he made 24 appearances for their AAA team. And then the Rangers released him in late August. Then he went to the Astros and he pitched in 13 big league games for the Astros. The raw numbers were completely fine. In 11 innings, he had a 2.45 ERA. He wasn't closing games like he's used to, but just the numbers in those appearances, Joe, kind of made you wonder why he wasn't helpful to somebody else all summer. Now, to be completely fair to this and not paint this as some masterpiece signing, it has been a while since Kimbrel has been a consistent presence in obviously a high leverage spot in the bullpen. I think if you want to be on the most optimistic side of things, maybe 2 years ago with Philadelphia is where I would go, Joe. Number one, what did you think of this move? Do you think he has anything left in the tank from a stuff perspective? Because I find it kind of interesting. He was in two organizations that do a pretty good job with pitching last year that really had no interest in using him in their major league system while having him in the minors. But then he goes to the Astros and he showed he has at least something left.
The fastball velocity is down, Connor. Like he's not the hard thrower that he once was. He's going to be more like in the 94 range now, but he's got some like interesting metrics on the fastball that make you think that it still could work a little bit. I look at this move like this to me is not your typical minor league signing with an invite to spring training. It's just like, oh, they're just signing a guy and he's going to hang out in AAA. Like I think Craig Kimbrel has a real chance to make the opening day roster, but I also think based on age and lack of consistent productivity over the last couple of years, it may be one of those we do a sporkle on the 2026 Mets. And it's like, you remember Craig Kimbrel was on the Mets for like a month and
Man,
maybe he
there's
has
some
like
good ones there.
a good April and then he falls off in May or something like that. And so I'm not going to look at Kimbrel as the Mets just signed a key cog to their 2026 bullpen. But given the state of the bullpen, which we can talk about, a little bit here in a second about what's still to come. There's no reason to think that he can't earn one of the last spots, and maybe and it's not high leverage anymore. Like this is a borderline Hall of Fame closer. Like he's going to be in that conversation whenever he retires. But current day, turning 38 years old, he's more of a medium to lower leverage guy probably now, and you can afford that if you're the Mets. I think at least to start out the year, given kind of all the options that they have available.
It feels like Kimbrel has never recovered since the NLCS in 2023 with the Phillies. Like he was really good that year. He was the reliever of the month in June. He was untouchable. And then in the NLCS, he blew back-to-back games, 3 and 4. And he still got a $13 million deal the next year with the Orioles. It was really bad for the Orioles. Was basically traveling the minor leagues the year after that. Of course, last year with the Braves and Rangers before he made it back to the big leagues with the Astros at the end of the year. And now he'll give it one more crack with the Mets. But like you said, Joe, the important thing is it's nice that the Mets are no longer an organization that once upon a time you'd be like, God, I hope Craig Kimbrel finds it because we need him for the 7th or 8th inning. They're just not. They're just not set up that way with Devin Williams and Luke Weaver and Brooks Raley, and Tobias Myers is kind of an interesting piece now in the bullpen, maybe as a multi-inning guy. So this is the pinnacle of a flyer.
Connor, the days are gone right now. Like I could already envision just a few years ago, if this situation were to transpire, he'd get like a 1 year, $4.5 million major league deal, and they would put out the press release, Mets sign however many time all-star closer Craig Kimbrel, and that's how it would be hyped up. Now it's nine-time all-star, and now this is just a depth move / somebody that might start the year with the big league team. So sure, I think there's no such thing as a bad 1 year deal, and there's certainly no such thing as a bad minor league deal.
Don't forget, Joe, the most important one. Forget 9-time All-Star. He was a Rolaids reliever of the year, which existed
Yes.
from 1976 to 2012.